guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel. Today I am back with another speed build per usual, and we are building a little kind of Craftsman inspired house. Starting off this voiceover strong, but I really wanted to, because I got suggestions from you guys and thought it was a really fun idea, to do another limited pack build. And so today we are doing a base game and seasons only house. So this house will be available for anyone to download on the gallery, and it'll be probably easier for some people to download because it only does include those 2 packs, which I like to do from time to time because it's a challenge and it makes my builds a little bit more accessible to you guys. So anyway, this ends up being a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and it comes in at around 57,000 simoleons and change. So it's not super cheap, but like it's a 2-bedroom house. It's on a very small lot here in Willow Creek though, so you know, it's very compact, and the backyard doesn't actually end up having a whole lot of space in it, but there are a couple of gardening pots. There is a flower arranging table as well as a swing set, so there's definitely a lot of the skill building items you'd probably want, as well as just like some fun activities to do in this house. It's just a very, very small house because I really like compact spaces, if you haven't noticed from the amount of tiny houses I build. And this isn't by no means a tiny house. This is just a very small home, and that's definitely something I really enjoy doing. Anyway, getting away from the build for a moment here, I just wanted to thank you guys so very much for 20,000 subscribers. That number is completely unreal to me. Like I have not processed that at all yet. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys so much, to everyone that's joined recently or everyone that's been here for a while. This community growing is just so amazing, and I'm having so much fun chatting with you guys and sharing my creations. So thank you guys so much for that. Anyway, back to the build now. We are getting pretty close to the final shape of this house now, I'm pretty sure. I really enjoyed using a lot of these dark brown windows that we got with seasons. I feel like I don't use dark browns that often. I feel like most windows I use are white. I occasionally do other windows, but I use white windows a lot. I think that's just because in real life, every house I've ever lived in, the windows are white. So that probably has a little bit of an impact on that, perhaps. Not entirely sure. But we're about to do some landscaping here. I wanted to make sure there was a lot of space for plants outside here, and I just wanted it to be cozy and lots of greenery, and I'm pretty happy with how this house did come out in the end. And here you can see I'm trying to put a swing set and it does not fit, so I extended the backyard and put it over here. It's pretty snug, but I imagine that the family that lives here really wants their child to have a swing set, so we made sure to go ahead and include that. Also, the second bedroom we have in this house, I did have as a child's bedroom. It's kind of pink themed. It's got like grays and pinks, and you'll see it when we get to it. But I really, really enjoyed it. I used some base game wallpaper I don't use super often. I used it like in a build a week or so ago on a couple walls, but like I haven't used it in this swatch in a while, and I really, really liked it. But anyway, we're fiddling around with wallpapers on the exterior of this home because I did want to use some of the ones that came with seasons, and I thought about using like the vertical paneling that we have on the top of one of those roofs, but I decided it would only work up there. I really wanted to have the horizontal paneling that we got with base game on the rest of the house. But here we are placing down all of these plants. I used mostly things with accents of yellow because I really liked how the yellow looked against the dark brown woods of this house. I don't know, I just thought it popped really nicely. And here I am placing down a bunch of these little miscellaneous objects that are from Debug to kind of create a little garden bed. I originally saw this when Sim Kim did it, like, I don't know, sometime last year or the year before, but Kate Emerald also has a tutorial on this if you ever want to check that out. She's a fantastic builder. Both of them are. So definitely give them a check out if you have a checkout. Give them a follow. I don't know the words I'm looking for, but they're both fantastic builders and I would highly recommend them. But this is just like a little item in Debug you can go ahead and place down. And so I place a bunch of them to make these little round flower beds, which are really, really cute. And I do that occasionally, especially in limited pack builds, because I feel like I have such limitations on what I can use that I really want to make them look cute. So I feel like most of my base game homes or limited pack builds, I end up doing these flower beds in for some reason. And I don't know. It just worked out well for this house, I think. So let me know what you guys do think about that and if you've used that trick before. And if you guys watch either Sim Kimber or Kate Emerald, because they are fantastic. And if you haven't seen them, you are missing out. I love how I'm just spending this voiceover plugging other people, but that's totally fine. This community is amazing, and I of course want to promote other people within it. Anyway, we are drawing on a path here, which disappears later because I have a problem with my terrain paints just randomly disappearing, and I know that's a problem a lot of people have been having lately. I don't know how to fix it, so it doesn't look exactly like that. I do have to trace it out and make it look, try and make it look similar later off camera, but it will be available on the gallery with the terrain paint. And if you want to download this off the gallery, I don't think I mentioned yet, you can find it if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That info is also down below, and the title of the build will be whatever the title of this video is, which I'm thinking is Little Craftsman potentially, because it's not small enough to be a tiny house at all, at all. This is a fairly spacious house, but it's a very small house at the same time, so I'm thinking Little Craftsman is what that will be called. But anyway, we are still working on the exterior. I spent forever out here, but I was having so much fun. I actually did this whole build in one sitting, and I don't do that too often. I tend to build something and walk away for it, either for a couple minutes, couple hours, couple days. But this one, I just sat down and I built for 2 hours, an hour and 45 minutes approximately. And I had a whole lot of fun with it. And I just feel like this would be a really fun house to play in because it is so cozy and compact, and that's my favorite way to play, honestly, is really small homes. And that's probably why I mostly build small homes, because large homes, multiple stories where you have to go up and down, as well as tons of room on giant lots. I'm just everyone's so far away, it takes forever to do everything. I just like the really small spaces. But I love the floor plan in for this one, and it took me a while to figure out what to do. I think I had one failed attempt. I built the floor plan and it didn't work, and I just deleted all of it and then I started over. So technically this is the second attempt, but I left the whole process in for the second attempt. And we kind of have a hallway kitchen, if that makes sense. So that little hallway that you see sticking out, that's the kitchen area. And I really like that because I feel like it's super realistic to real life. I have a kitchen that's kind of like a hallway kitchen. So I don't know. I just wanted to include that. And it was a way to get everything to fit in this house because it is a very small home. And I was having trouble figuring out where to put the kitchen, dining, living, all of that. So we put it here in the end, and I used this really cute runner rug that we got with Seasons, and we're just placing a couple of clutter items on this counter. I did play test this, so that counter is fully usable. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a problem because I know it's been more of a problem lately. It used to be fine, and I didn't even have to play test it as long as it wasn't slotted to the counter. You could still use the counter. But lately it's been a little bit more of a problem, so I've been trying to make sure to play test it, and that has worked just fine in this home. And now we are putting a bunch of stuff over on this little table by the door. I think it came out really cozy and cute. A bunch of clutter, a little plant, and this rug that came with base game. And then we're adding a not thermometer. What is it called? The thing to... Is it? No. Thermostat. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word for a moment there. But we put that there, and we're going to add a little fire alarm above it. And of course we had the umbrella stand by the door. I think that's such a cute item, and I love that it's functional with Seasons. Actually, Seasons is one of my favorite expansion packs, and I really liked the suggestion to do a limited pack build just using Seasons and base game, because I feel like the expansion packs that most people have are Seasons and Cats and Dogs. And I did a Cats and Dogs one a couple of weeks ago, I think, or about a month ago, because it was the last build I did before my move. So yeah, a couple weeks to a month ago. And I had really wanted to do another one, and I got a suggestion for Seasons, and I was like, that's perfect. I feel like most people, if they have expansions, would have Seasons. And of course, I'm going to be doing some more base game homes in the future as well. I've gotten a bunch of questions about that. I get them fairly often asking if I could ever do a base game home, and I actually do it at least once a month, a base game home, sometimes more than that. And I've been trying to do some more limited pack builds as well, but I also like to get carried away and build with absolutely everything in the game, because I just really enjoy building and decorating, so it's nice to have everything at my disposal sometimes. But the limitations are also really fun, and then have me using items that I might not use as often because I favor an item from a different pack typically. So I do really enjoy these limited pack builds, and I had a whole lot of fun doing this, which I feel like I've said like 800 times by this point, but I don't know, it was just really nice. I woke up this morning and I just curled up in my chair in here and I built this house, and it was just such a cozy way to start a Sunday morning, and I'm just feeling all kinds of happy and thankful and stuff, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm just getting all kinds of sappy, so I apologize for that. But we're just figuring out the last bits of this living room. I thought about adding that end table, but we ended up using this bookcase instead, which obviously came with seasons, and I love it. It's one of my favorite bookcases in the game, and I feel like I say that every single time I use it, but it's so pretty. It's so my style. I love it so very much, and so I was excited to go ahead and use that. And then we are just trying to figure out what plant we can put here that's not going to fall through the bookcase. I mean, this one does a little bit, but you don't notice it that much, so we ended up using that one in the end. And then we're adding a bunch of books over here by this little TV stand I made out of these cabinets. Just to make it look a little bit more full. And I believe we add one of those portraits over there, like one of the little desktop paintings that has a sports team on it. I just think it's pretty cute. I don't know if I imagine that the kid in this house is into sports, because their room kind of implies that they're very into arts. I mean, you could be into both, but, you know, we only have so many desktop paintings, so hopefully in the future we will get more little like photos in frames like that. That would be fantastic. I'd like to have more of those, because I feel like it's really realistic on surfaces. Just have pictures of like your family or like little vacations or your pets or whatever. And I believe all we have is a sports photo, an apple, a pear, and some butterflies. So I would love to have more of those. But anyway, we are into the bathroom now, and this is a very simple room. We use the same wallpaper that we used in the kitchen, which is just like this creamy color tile, and I think it looks pretty cute. We also added a little thing of like blush or eyeshadow over on to the sink. That's from the debug menu. I was going through debug to find something else. What did I grab out of debug? Oh, probably the things outside going around the garden beds, or I grabbed some artwork as well. So I found that while I was going through, and I was like, I'm going to put this on the counter or on the sink. So that's what we did. I also had originally been thinking that this room would be orange. That's why there's an orange rug in here. But then I thought this wallpaper looked so cute, and I needed to use this bed with it. And we have the little like zebra print rug, and I was trying forever to make that scout board work, but I don't think it worked well in this house. But of course you could change up this room for whatever kid you think might fit well in it, and have the scouting board if you think you'd get use out of it, and change whatever you want if you guys download this house. But we're just adding a bunch of clutter around, some portraits on the wall, and not portraits, like some artwork on the wall, which I ended up putting some by the little artist station as well, and then a bunch of clutter over on this little it's not a bookcase, it's like a dresser. Sort of. It's like a cube shelf with drawers in it, which I think is a really cute item that I really, really like, and just some books and stuff. I think that's pretty much it for this room, though, other than the little pieces of artwork that I grabbed from debug, which I think looks so cute, and some little hearts coming down from the window as well. And then this is the master bedroom, which is very purple and brown, and I just love this color scheme. I really like the beds we got from Seasons. All of the beds, like the kids' bed, or I guess a single bed, and the double beds are gorgeous. Like, I love this pack so much. It has some of my favorite build and buy items, so that was really cool for building this house. But I think we're just adding a dresser over here, and like I said, this house has been playtested, so you can get around that bed just fine, and just adding a couple last decorations. But we are coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and if you click that little bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.